Act 3 of Cinderella by George Calderon. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The same scene as in Act 1, Scene 2. Stockfish, in a garland of leaves, sits with Hedda and Mrs. Inquest at a small round table, on which stands a bottle of champagne. Madame Helseth stands by them.
Did you sleep well after it?
I slept a little towards morning.
I felt an oppressive burden here.
I saw crocodiles and hippopotamuses all night, dancing and making faces at me.
I saw white horses.
Have a little more champagne.
Enter Hilda in spectacles and eyeshade, with a tray of pies.
Ah, here are some pies that Hedda has made on purpose for you, over-gas-purveyor Stockfish.
I love to see him with the vine leaves in his hair.
My aunt is dead, Eilert is dead, Ekdal is dead, Aslaxon is dead, the governess of the gardener's children is dead, everyone is dead.
You are in low spirits, Stockfish.
The cloth is dirty, the wine is flat, the pies are bad, absolutely uneatable.
One of them goes off, like a jack-in-the-box.
Whatever I touch, I make a mess of. Have some more wine?
She pours wine all over the table.
I am bored and tired of life.
My Hedda is thirsty. Bring more champagne. Bring a magnum.
Madame Helseth puts a jeroboam on the table.
I want my wee girlie to be happy. She shan't go racking her brains.
Never a gleam of brightness to lighten our home. It isn't a home, it's a cage.
It's a menagerie. I cannot rest until I have found out who that girl was who came last night. That princess.
She wasn't a princess.
Well, she had on a princess skirt. There she stood, on the table, as it might be that bottle of champagne. I practically had only to draw the cork.
Who can it have been?
We cannot guess.
Hilda sings without.
I am free, I am free, I am free.
There! I hear her voice.
He runs off and returns.
No, there's nobody there. Only that little mouse-jowled slut of a slavey. There was I, there was the table, and there she stood.
Hilda sings above.
No more life in the prison for me.
There! I'll swear that was her voice.
He runs up and returns.
No, there's nobody there. Only that pulp-headed Abigail upstairs dusting the hayloft. Well, as I was saying, there we stood. I was where that chair is, and she was...
Hilda sings below.
I am free as a flea. I am free, I am free, I am free.
This time I'm sure.
He looks down through a trap door.
No, not a soul. Nobody but the she-serf down in the cellar drawing the beer. Well, for the present I must be off. However, our friendship mustn't end like this. I will come and see you again tomorrow. I will come and see you again this afternoon. I will come and see you 2 or 3 times every day. Oh, if I could but find her again. She left a gumshoe behind her. It might prove a clue. I'll let you know.
A loud knocking at the front door.
Who on earth can that be?
Are you expecting anyone?
No, no one. There isn't a soul but ourselves up this mountain, except the hired waiters.
And they've gone back to town again.
Go and see who it is, Madame Helseth.
Well, I must be off.
Don't forget about the galosh.
No, no.
Exit Stockfish. Demon without.
I beg your pardon, Governor.
Not at all, not at all.
Enter Fairy and Demon.
I hope you'll excuse the liberty.
We are sorry to interrupt the course of the pantomime.
What has happened? What's the matter?
We wanted to ask you a question. The fact is, we were both at Mr. Stockfish's party last night and couldn't help overhearing a good deal of the conversation around us. We were both profoundly astonished.
What sort of conversation? What about?
The moral aspect, lady.
The moral aspect. What does he mean, Mother?
The point of view seems to have changed so much since our young days.
It used to be so easy.
In fact, we were fairly confused by all we heard, and what we want to know is, what is right and what is wrong?
To Hedda.
What a comical old-fashioned pair, my dear. Quite a couple of drolleries.
Looking at them through her long-handled glasses.
Such people don't exist nowadays.
My dear children, these arbitrary distinctions of right and wrong have quite gone out. They have been abolished.
Well,
Oh,
I never.
You don't say so.
In place of them, we have nowadays the expression of our personality.
Crikey!
It is our duty to express our personality in our lives just as much as ever we can. And if in doing so we break the criminal law, well, so much the worse for the criminal law.
But look here, lady. In that case, I'm just as good, just as moral as she is.
More so, in all probability, because you've got more snap in you, more expression of your personality.
My eye! Do you hear that, Titania? And I've always looked on myself as such a bad lot.
My poor fellow, you've been reproaching yourself quite unnecessarily.
Yes, but look here, I love Hevel.
Quite right. So do we all. It was made to be loved.
Yes, but I do Hevel.
You try to, but you never do any harm, really. Your intentions are always baffled. Haven't you noticed that?
Yeah, she foils me every time.
Evil intentions never come to anything. It's only good intentions that ever do any harm. But bless my soul, why should two innocents like you worry your heads over these matters?
The fact is, lady, it isn't only curiosity, prying into things that's too high for us like. It's, well, we've met so often in the way of business all these 4,000 or 5,000 years.
Since the creation of the world, you know.
That
We've come to rather like one another. In fact, he wants to marry me.
I've got a little home ready for her in the garden suburb.
But I felt it my duty to refuse him, as he's such a very, very bad man.
Then in that case it is you who are the devil, because you're preventing him from expressing his personality.
Then it's really me that ought to wear the horns?
Yes, and he ought to have a halo.
The demon puts on a halo and poses like a saint.
How do I look, Titty?
The fairy puts on his horns. They laugh heartily.
You must have a little something in the servants' hall before you go.
Mrs. Inquest leads them out. Hedda looks at them through her glasses. The fairy lowers her horns at Hedda and bellows wickedly.
Ha 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 ha!
Exeunt all but Hedda. Enter Hilda.
So there you are, miss. Now I'm going to give you what for.
Give me what for, Hedda? Surely you wouldn't bang your little Hilda?
I suppose you think we didn't know you at the party last night? I suppose you think you were very fine and smart in my clothes, eh?
I didn't think you'd mind, Hedda.
Who gave you leave to wear my ninon ballet skirt and plum-colored pelerine? Who gave you leave to splash one of my slippers all over with mud?
Oh, what are you going to do to me, Hedda?
Producing a pistol.
I am going to shoot you.
Oh, not shoot me, Hedda.
Yes, shoot you.
Are you sure you mean to shoot me, Hedda?
Quite sure.
Come on, then. Two can play at that game.
Producing a gun.
What ho!
What? You? You have the courage?
I have courage for this or for anything now. I have awakened from the dead. I have found myself at last.
Oh, joy! Hooray!
Embracing her.
At last you are one of us.
Yes, I'm a real rickety-rackety Ibsen girl at last.
Oh, Hilda, what a wonderful thing it is at last to have a sister that one can love. But what about my lover, Hilda?
Tesman?
No, Stockfish. You will not steal him from me, Hilda?
No, Hedda, I will not steal him from you, Hedda. We will share him fairly between us, Hedda.
How can we do that, Hilda?
Wait and see, Hedda.
Enter Madame Helseth, dragging Mrs. Inquest. Tesman follows.
What is this?
Spare me! Spare me! Do not shame me before my children. What I did with a good purpose.
Oh, what has she done?
Don't be harsh with her, Madam Helseth.
Children, your mother is a fraud. She has been leading a double life. She has been deceiving us.
No, no, do not expose me.
I must. It is my simple duty. All these years your mother has been living on the reputation of a mysterious past full of fearful crimes.
Yes, yes, we respect her for it.
Know, then, that your respect is founded on a lie. I have examined this portfolio.
I forbade you to open it.
I looked for murder, arson, robbery, forgery, the usual things. What do I find? Nothing but blameless innocence.
Oh, horror!
A pious and well-spent youth.
Oh, shame! You, our mother!
I hardly like to tell you the things that woman has done, the things she has been.
Let us know the worst.
A Sunday school teacher.
Oh!
President of the Gothenburg Dorcas Society.
Oh!
Organising secretary for the diocesan Mother's Treat.
Oh!
And treasurer of the Orphan Curates Sustentation Fund.
This is too awful.
I can never face my children again.
From henceforth, Mother, we declare to you solemnly that your authority in this house is at an end. You must take a back seat. I never did believe much in those dark stories of 15 or 20 years ago. I and Hilda, at least, have real crimes that we can boast of.
Hilda? No, not my innocent Hilda.
If I have committed no crimes yet, Mother, I am about to do so on a stupendous scale.
My reign is over. There is nothing left for me but to sit and gibber in the chimney corner now. My salts, my salts.
Her salts! Has it come to this, then? Our mother has weak nerves. There's someone ringing, a visitor. Please, please compose yourself.
Exeunt Mrs. Inquest, Hedda, and Hilda.
Do you know, at times I almost regret my promise to marry Hedda.
Whatever made you fall in love with her, I cannot understand. You never have a moment's peace. It'll be another doll's house, or more like a Punch and Judy show in which you'll be the baby.
Do you know, Madam Helseth, in spite of the disparity of our years, I have half a mind to kiss you.
God bless me. Whatever put such an idea into your head?
I sometimes think that you and I are the only two sane people here, although the author evidently meant to guy us.
Tesman kisses Madame Helseth.
Mwah!
There, there.
It's very annoying. I've searched and searched.
Have you lost something, Mr. Tesman?
I could have sworn I left a pair of galoshes here yesterday, and now there is only one of them.
Exeunt Tesman and Madame Helseth. Enter Stockfish, Mrs. Inquest, Hedda, and Hilda.
Here is the galosh that she left behind her. Now, if you've got such a thing as a bloodhound about you...
Perhaps it's got the name of the maker inside. That might be a clue.
Rabbits. Where does he live, I wonder?
I know, in the borough.
What if it should belong to someone in this house?
That is hardly likely.
We look so different by candlelight.
Well, I don't care. I swear that I will marry the rightful owner of this galosh, whoever it be.
Tesman runs on.
Father, father, it is mine. It is your own Tessie Wessie's. I am yours forever.
Oh, confound this jackanapes! Wherever I turn, I find him in my road. Take that, you oaf! Take that!
He kicks him out.
Let me try it on.
You indeed.
Come here, Stockfish.
What is it, Backfish?
Let me murmur in your ear.
Murmur away.
There stood the champagne, but he tasted it not.
You?
Hilda takes off her spectacles and eyeshade.
Go, all of you. I must be alone with this girl.
Exeunt all but Hilda and Stockfish.
So it was you!
Me, me, me. Oh, if you knew the hungry hanker that I feel for you. For a man that could do such a delightful asinine thing as build those great clumping gasworks on such a desolate mountainside.
Then if I love you, and you love me, there is only one thing to be done. We must marry.
Marry, Stockfish? What do you take me for? A heroine of a second-rate English comedy? What? We meet on the lofty plane of affinity, aspiration, high towers and big gasworks, and then you drag us down to this? To marriage? How humiliating! How irrelevant! There, I didn't mean to be harsh. But surely my own boy knows that such a solution is impossible. I have higher things than that for you.
Only tell me what they are, Hilda.
Listen, I am about to take hold of life with a strong hand. I am going to ask a big thing of you.
Whatever you ask.
I want no commonplace contentment. I want something rare, something with a sting and an ache in it. Bliss with a groan in it.
Oh, what is it? What is it? I will give it you.
I have a wild, uncontrollable desire to see you suffer. Suffer horribly, unendurably. Finish well what you have begun so well. Get on these gasworks that you have built, and blow yourself up.
Not that! Not that!
Only that.
I would do anything to please you, Hilda. But this... Oh, I am afraid, I am afraid.
Do you mean to tell me that you, my hero, are afraid to blow yourself up on gasworks that you yourself have built?
Oh, Hilda, you know that I would gladly do anything in reason to amuse and entertain you. But this is too much. How if I refuse?
Then I shall shoot you in the stomach, where Lovborg shot himself.
What an awful choice to have to make. This, then, is what love means?
Scandinavian love. But don't look downcast, Stockfish. This is the only way that I can have you utterly, utterly to myself. When you are blown to bits, then at last I can know for certain that you will never be anybody else's. For my sake, you must do it gladly. Take this wreath. I had prepared it for this moment.
You knew that I should come?
Something told me. It was made ready for you to wear at your own funeral. A mortelle. A pretty idea. I want you to do it beautifully, with the vine leaves in your hair. Beautifully, Stockfish. Promise me that.
Farewell, Hilda Inquest.
Farewell, half-done Stockfish. This is the end.
Stockfish goes out and returns.
But supposing the gas won't catch fire, Hilda, it may turn out to be quite incombustible, you know.
Fancy, Stockfish. There'll be a sort of sporting interest in that. Bye.
Exit Stockfish.
This is frightfully thrilling.
She dances a hornpipe. Enter Hedda.
Why is Stockfish going about from room to room with a wreath in his hand, asking everybody to lend him a crowbar and a flaming torch?
Stockfish has gone to kill himself.
To kill himself? Fancy! Why is Stockfish going to kill himself?
I made him.
You made him?
I did. He is to ascend to the highest peak of the gasworks. And blow himself up.
Hilda, I adore you. You have the true Viking spirit.
Enter Mrs. Inquest and Madame Helseth.
Mamma, Stockfish is going to kill himself. He is going to turn away from the banquet of life and blow himself up in the gasworks.
Ha! At last a bold deed. There is beauty in this. We shall have a good view from this window. Why doesn't he hurry up?
Dear Lord, Miss Hilda, how could you do such a cruel thing?
He bored me.
You will never have any peace of soul again after this.
Who cares?
Peace of soul? What a humiliating idea. Who wants peace of soul?
It sounds like snacks of fish, threepence, doesn't it?
This, then, is what the white horse meant.
What's that white horse she's always talking about?
Oh, it's a public house down the road here.
At window.
See, there he goes to his death.
Now he ascends the little path.
Now he clambers slowly up the ironwork with the crowbar in his teeth and the wreath about his neck.
Now he has arrived. He looks round. He wipes his brow with a red bandana handkerchief.
Now he is the only cock on the fowl roost at last.
Now he plunges the crowbar into the gas meter.
Now he sets the torch to the orifice.
They imitate a rocket, look up high, and clap their hands.
My word!
What a beauty!
Well, there's an end of him.
He's blown himself up. He's blown himself up.
All sing and dance. Enter Tessman, weeping.
Blown up, gone to glory. I shall never, never see them again.
Them? What's them?
It's the little things that hurt one most. The things that some people would look on as almost nothing.
Come, Tesman, what things do you mean?
He went up in my galoshes.
Your galoshes?
My beautiful big galoshes that Aunt Jemima gave me.
Waving a handkerchief and dancing.
My plaster builder.
My galoshes.
My plaster builder.
My galoshes.
Curtain. End of Cinderella by George Calderon.